This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto. Corky's Pest Control. And Lolita's Family of Restaurants.
Welcome back to the San Diego Prep Insider Podcast. Tommy Morris, Chris Smith, Montel Allen will be joining us virtually, and Christian Pedersen is with a special guest. So for right now, it's just us two. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Turkey Day.
Happy Turkey Day. What do you like on your turkey before we? This is the most important thing that we're going to talk about today, I think.
I don't know, man. It's not really turkey that gets me, man. I love stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, sweet potatoes. Man, I'm old school.
I feel like turkey's old school because literally, like the Pilgrims. I don't know anything about history, so I'm not gonna reference that. But anyway, we got to get to our game picks. This is our Division I podcast. The first game that we got Saints versus Acosta Canyon. Christian, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. I am sitting next to one of the most prolific and actually kind of underrated and underappreciated running backs in the last decade of San Diego high school football. Milan Rice from Rancho Bernardo. How you doing, my man?
How are you?
I got to ask you before we get started into all this. You haven't lost since October 9th of last year.
Right.
How's it feel?
I mean, it's huge. We're just keeping it going, keeping it rolling, trying to show that we can compete with the best of the best.
Yeah, just whatever, rolling off state titles, winning this and that. You're humble. I like it. You know a little thing about football?
Yes, I do.
We're a show that talks about football.
Yes, sir.
You're going to help us make some game picks. Our very first one, Saints LCC. What's your take?
I'm going to have to go with Saints. I think they have just too much firepower on both sides of the ball, so I'm going to go with the Saints.
They got a lot of firepower. A big part of that firepower is the law firm of Thompson & Thompson, bringing it home with touchdowns left and right all season. This is a Saints team with a huge chip on their shoulder. I think that they still have a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth from the Holy Bowl and getting left out of open division, and I don't see any way that LCC even plays them close. I think that this is going to be one of the bigger blowouts on Friday night. Saints are going to roll on to the finals.
Saints versus LCC is going to be a very good matchup, I believe. I think people should just not look at the records because LCC is a different team from they were earlier in the year, and Saints is rolling on high cylinders. LCC is very impressive to me because they seem to play up to their competition. Instead of teams playing down, they play very up to the competition. If there seems to be an opponent that's better than them or we think that is better than them, they seem to always rise to the occasion and play. I'm really a big fan of their quarterback, Newfield, the junior. I think he's going to be an excellent player in the county. And they do a lot of good things. They don't do anything one individual is dominating. They do it collectively, a team. They really embody team. But they're going against St. Augustine. The Saints is looking also, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. They want to get back, I think, to this final game against Madison and play them again in a rematch. Rodney Thompson, I know Coach Sanchez got those guys, Rodney and Tyreek Thompson, both great players. Both guys are leading the teams like respective of how they're supposed to. They are ready to rock and roll and go. I got Saints in this one in the victory, but I believe it's going to be competitive in the beginning until Saints can get their rhythm and Rodney gets his rhythm, and then I think Saints will get the ball going, and I think everything will be okay. I'm taking Saints in the win.
Chris, what do you think?
I heard Isaac Taylor-Stewart's out this week with an injury, and the secondary is going to be left without a star, which leaves the Saints vulnerable to the pass. But even with that said, the Saintsmen have a lot of talent that should keep them in this game. And LCC's made a name for themselves this year, knocking off and getting upset wins. This is going to be a tough game for everyone to pick, but I'm taking Rodney Thompson, Daryl Broussard, and the Saintsmen. I think the Saints are going to win this one.
Yeah, LCC has surprised me a lot this year. They've been playing very well. They've knocked off some big teams, which is why I'm going to.
Don't do it.
I can't. I think it's gonna be a really close game. I think the Mavericks have done a great job this year. Congratulate them and the coaching staff, but I'm gonna go with Saints.
I saw that coming.
It will be close. So don't sleep on this as being a bad game. Anyway, moving on to our next game in Division I. It is going to be Madison, San Marcos. Christian Pedersen, take it away.
Okay. Madison, San Marcos.
I think both teams are very good. San Marcos got my boys Kyle Phillips and Tyler Rogers. But I think Madison just has, too many athletes, too much for them that they won't be able to handle it. So I'm going with Madison.
Close game, though?
Yeah, close game, definitely.
I can agree with you that. Kyle Phillips, Bryson Bolin, they are an electric vertical passing offense. They're a lot of fun to watch, but it's like you said, Madison is just a really well-rounded team. Coach Jackson has them also in the same kind of place mentally as Saints, where they're a little angry about being left out, and they're coming for everybody, and they want this championship just to validate that they're as good as they think they are. You can get ready for this one by going back to watch The Grind, our SDPI series we did with them, to see all these athletes. But I agree with you. Samson knew, Bryson, they're going to roll.
Yeah.
Madison's going to take this one.
Madison versus San Marcos, another interesting game right here. Love players on both sides of the ball. Obviously, I'm a big fan over there. San Marcos with Kyle Phillips, one of the better receivers, and young junior. Got Tyler Rogers over there. They have a great scheming squad over there. But Madison right now is, playing with a chip on their shoulder since they've been left out in the open. And I think Madison is just too strong and too physical for San Marcos. I think San Marcos is going to put up a great fight. I think they're going to come in there. They're not going to be pushed around. They're going to try to stand their ground and hold their ground. But with that speed and them playing with a chip on the shoulder, I think Madison has too much. JoJo Fallow's been playing excellent ball. They got Samson over there. They have Christian. On offense, they got TC. They got Buck over there running the ball really, really hard. I think that's just too many dynamics for San Marcos to try to contain in order to try to win this game. I tell my help to San Marcos, they're not going anywhere. They're going to stand up there and fight like they have all year against all the teams they have in the North County. But I think they're just going to be a little bit overmatched. I'm taking Madison with the win.
All right, Chris.
Madison San Marcos. That's our next game. Tyler Rogers, Bryson Bolin, and Kyle Phillips. They're going to have their hands full with Madison. I think Rick Jackson's got the Warhawks dialed in right now. They're upset they didn't obviously make the open division. You've got talent from top to bottom with running backs Eric Buchanan, Keenan Christian, quarterback Terrell Carter, receiver Brandon Lewis. You've got linebacker Samson New, Bryson Collins, offensive lineman JoJo Fallow. I mean, the list of D1 talent goes down that squad. That's too deep. They got too much talent. I got to take the Warhawks on this one.
I'm going to take Madison too. I had them as my number 2 team in the county. They're in the Division 1 bracket, so I'm going to take them pretty much all the way through, I think. Christian, back to you guys for any shout-outs.
So before we take off, tell the people what's up. Let them hear from you a little bit.
I want to shout out my offensive line, my coaches, and just my family for supporting me. That's about it.
Very simple, very simple. And I want to give you a shout out for all the work you've been doing, man. You've been putting in a lot of work, and it's starting to pay off. You're getting some offers, you're getting some rings. You haven't lost since how old were you back in October of your junior year? Like 16? You haven't lost since you were 16? Like, God, that must be nice, man. Thank you very much for checking in with us. Tommy, guys, back to you.
Back to us. 3, 2. Chris, anything you want to shout out?
Just want to give a shout out to Danny Anderson. Happy 18th birthday, young man. And one more shout out, that's to the quarterback, the general, Braxton Burmeister. Everybody in San Diego gave me a hard time last week about me saying he was going to throw for 400 yards. What'd he do? He went out there, threw for 500 yards, 100 yards rushing as well, 5 touchdowns. The kid's on fire. It's going to be more of it this week. So the Braxton Burmeister show continues.
And I'm going to give a shout out to mini marshmallows. Ever had that on top of your sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving?
Bro, are you real?
What? They're very underappreciated. I feel that people need to shout them. Do you not?
Okay, marshmallows, you got it.
All right, perfect. All right, we'll see y'all next week with the finals.